Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Before I get into this episode today, I want to remind you that me and Boo, we have a book coming out. We co-authored, you know what I'm saying, a book about podcast shows that I did called Rivals on my podcast a while back. And we collaborated on filling some blanks and give you a little bit more information in the book than I was able to give you on the podcast and whatnot. It's a great book. It's a great read. It's talking about generational gang violence, actually. And I think it's worth your while. The book is going to be available on jtb3.org. That's Boo's website, August the 1st. Go ahead and check that out. It's going to be $20 on the website, right? Check that out, man. And I really, like I always, want to thank you for all the support that you've given me and my son. You are family to me, and I really appreciate everything that you've done for me and him. But let me get to this episode, y'all. This episode is about when I got transferred from one prison to another. It's happened several times with me, especially when I was in rotation. I would get told to pack, I'm moving, they're taking me to another institution. It happened to me this particular time, and I was put in the cell with this guy that he didn't really seem to understand what was going on with him. You know, when he wasn't a gang member, he was not affiliated at all, but he didn't seem to understand that, you know, the Crips were making a move on him that would eventually end up with him being put in an uncompromising position that he wouldn't be able to get himself out of, right? And anyway, I'm going to tell you that story, right? I just want you to sit back and relax. I'm going to get to that story in just a second, right? So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, y'all. It's a good one. All right, check it out, right? One day, man, I was at this other institution, right? And I was just chilling, minding my own business, right? And I was at work, actually. And all of a sudden, it was a knock on the door of my supervisor's office, right? And the officer came in. It was a lieutenant. He came in. He said, your name Baker? And I'm like, yes, sir. He said, man, come with me, man. I said, okay, where am I going? He said, well, you're being transferred. Now, this is in the middle of the day. This is like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I had been to work that morning, been to chow and everything. And who gets transferred? Nobody gets transferred at 1 o'clock in the afternoon unless it's some trouble, right? And I hadn't been into anything, but again, that doesn't matter when you have a reputation like I had. You feel what I'm saying? So he told me to come with him, and I went with him. And long story short, you know what I'm saying? They put me on a special chain to ship me to another institution. And I was at this facility with both of my sons. They just packed me up. They had them actually pack my stuff. They didn't know what was going on, so I can only imagine the trauma that they were dealing with as they were packing my stuff, not knowing where their daddy was going to be again. You feel me? So anyway, I got transferred to this other institution. When I got there, it took several hours to get to this institution. When I got there, it was at night. The bus pulled up, and the officer walked onto the bus, and he said, who's Baker? And I said, that's me. He said, come with me. So I stood up, and then now when you're on the bus, you got shackles on and you got handcuffs on, right? And it's hard to move, right? So I got up and I was walking to the front of the bus, and he helped me down to 3 or 4 steps. I think it's 3 steps that are on the bus, you know, so I wouldn't fall because I got shackles and handcuffs on. I get off the bus, and he says, we've received word from downtown that you probably have a cell phone with you. In transportation. I was like, nah, I don't got no cell phone. So he made me walk around this pole. This pole is like, it's supposed to be able to detect the phone if you have a phone in your person, on your body. You feel me? In your rectum, basically, right? So he made me walk around this pole. I said, what's going on? He said, we're trying to make sure you're not trying to smuggle a phone into our institution. I said, man, I don't get down like that. He said, yeah, right. Made me walk around the pole. It was negative. And then they took my property and they went through it very thoroughly. Couldn't find anything because there was nothing in there, right? But they locked me up. They put me straight in the hole. Now I'm in the hole for nothing. Just because they assumed that I had a phone. You feel me? Didn't have a phone. But that's what they were told. They believed it. They ran with it. They take me to the hole. Now while I'm in the hole, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, okay, my name had come up in a lot of stuff at the other institution for doing all kinds of stuff, trafficking, drugs, phones, whatever the case may be. And it always seems like whenever I had stopped doing something, that my name would come up as I was doing something. It's like now when I was doing something, it's like nobody ever came to say anything to me. So I started to piece things together, and some people would get mad at me when I stopped hustling. Some people would get mad at me when I would say, man, I'm not doing anything this week. And then they would just go tell on me. Because if they couldn't get me to do anything, they always thought that I was doing something for somebody else and myself, of course, but I wouldn't let them in. So they would get rid of me altogether. If I can't have no connection to you, then you're not going to be able to do what you want to do either. Boom. I'm gone. I got sent to another institution. Now, when I get to this other institution, and they put me in the hole, off the bus, straight off the bus, I'm like, dang, what am I going to do? Why am I in the hole? Nobody's letting me call home or anything like that, right? And this is on the weekend. I got transferred on a Friday, so I wake up that Saturday in the hole. You know what I mean? That Saturday afternoon, it's a fight on the compound. The Bloods and the Crips are going at it. So they need beds in the hole. They come in the back, say, Baker, pack your stuff. You going out on the compound. I said, cool. I said, where am I going? They said, you're going to Unit 9. I said, I don't care where I'm going, as long as I'm going off the compound. Appreciate it. They said, you're going in the cell when one of these guys is coming back here. I said, I don't need to know all that. Just let me up out of here. So it's 4 of us that they let out of the hole, right? So it's 2 big buggies. My stuff and this other little young dude's stuff in the push cart, and then the other 2 guys, their stuff is in the push cart, and we're pushing our stuff up the hill. So the young dude is with me, right? You know what I'm saying? He said, what part am I going in now? He had just come back from court, and he belonged in the honor pod, right? But he said, what pod am I going in? I belong in the honor pod. And they said, then you're going to Unit 9 right now. Ain't no beds in the honor pod. He like, no, I ain't supposed to be going to Unit 9. Why am I going to Unit 9? So I looked at him because he just stopped pushing the cart. I looked at him and I'm like, man, what's wrong? He said, man, Unit 9, that's the ghetto, man. Everything going on over there. I don't want to be over there no more, this, and that. And I'm looking at him like, oh, man, here we go, one of these guys. You know what I'm saying? And my property happens to be in the buggy with him. I don't need no problem like that. I'm just on this compound. So the officer said, look here, man, ain't nobody going to mess with you. You're just going to be in a few days until we can get your bed back open up in the honor pod. So he starts to resume pushing the cart, and we're getting up the sidewalk. The other 2, they went to the top of the hill, right? So we get up there into the pod. As soon as I step into the pod, there's 2 or 3 folks that recognize me. Joe T, what's up, man? They run over and say, where your stuff at, man? Let me help you. They grab my bags out of the push cart, and they know the cell that I'm in, right? They running straight upstairs. You got to be in the cell with this young dude up here, this, and that. And I'm like, yeah, what's up with him? They say, he's straight, man. You know he's straight. Now, I got to watch them, too, because they just grabbed my bags and ran up the steps. So you got to be mindful now, even though some people might know you, they still trying to really check out what you got. You know what I'm saying? We call it reckless eyeballing up in here. They looking at the bag, they seeing it. I got the potato chips, I got the noodles, I got the summer sausages, I got the beef stew. I got all of these things in this bag. You know what I'm saying? They checking me out. They sizing me up on the finance thing to see where I'm at, even though they knew me, right? So I get up there and I tell them to put my stuff down in the cell. I got to unpack, introduce myself to my new cell. I said, what's up, man? My name is Joe T. He said, how you doing, bro? My name is Jamaica. I said, oh, okay, I got a real one. You know what I'm saying? He sounded like he was from Jamaica. Now, you got to keep in mind, a lot of people, in the penitentiary, you can be anything you want to be, anybody you want to be. So when he came at me with that accent at first, I was like, is he? Really? But it turns out that he really was. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have the dreads. He had cut them off. I don't understand that. But, you know what I'm saying? He was the real deal Holyfield. So I'm in the cell with him, and we chilling. This is the first night. So I look up. I see him. He pull out the phone. He looking out the window on the door. I said, hold on, man. You get over here. I got the door, man. So I jumped down off the top bunk because when they first put me in the cell, I'm on the top bunk, right? I got to respect the business. Penitentiary rules in effect. You know what I'm saying? He was in the cell before me. He can have the bottom bunk. I know how this thing plays out anyway. I'm going to end up on the bottom bunk sooner or later anyway. But for the time being, you got to do what you got to do. You got to see what kind of situation you find yourself in. So anyway, I'm watching the door while he using the phone. He on the phone, laid back, chilling, talking to somebody. This and that, get some things straight. I turn around and say, sell it. You ain't got all night, man. I'm not your lookout, man. You feel me? He said, oh, that's what's up, Sally, that's what's up. He said, you need to use the phone? I was like, yeah, of course. So after about 10 more minutes, he finished. He handed me the phone. Now he's on the door. I called the house. let my family know where I'm at. You know, they hadn't heard from me in a few days. Like I just got up and snatched and transferred. Talked to my family. They said, okay, good. We know where you at. We'll be to visit you. I said, that's what's up. Got off the phone, gave him, well, before I gave it back, I cleaned my number about it. You got to erase your number because you never know what people are on in here, right? So anyway, I gave him the phone back. Now I'm up on the top bunk and I'm just leaning back. I got the TV on. I'm flipping through, channel surfing and whatnot. And I look down at him. He's sitting at the table. He got pills poured all over the table. I said, sell it. Watch the dough, man. What is wrong with you, man? You can't just be doing that, man. You can't just be doing that. I said, I just got transferred here for getting accused of doing all of the stuff that you doing. Are you tripping, man? He said, my bad. I said, it's a young dude now. He barely 21. He said, my bad, Sally. My bad. Sounded like a Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? So I jumped down off the bed again. And now I'm looking at the door, trying to make sure the feds ain't nowhere around. Because he's really not paying attention to nothing. He got pills. It probably was 100 pills poured on the table. Them Suboxone pills. This is before they came out with the strips. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm looking at him. I said, man, what you got going on? He said, man, you know, these Suboxone, they go for $100 a pill up here. I said, oh, my God, what you say, $100? He said, yeah, $100 a pill. I'm looking, I'm trying to count real fast what he got on the table, doing like Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator, right? Boom. I count real fast. It's got to be at least 200 pills on this table. He got real bread, potential real money. You know what I'm saying? I said, man, cut me in, man. Let me get in on that. He said, man, I can sell them to you, man. I said, what you sell them to me for? He said, man, I'll let you get them for $50 and you're going to make your 50. I said, that's what's up. So I'm thinking in my mind, I'm going to just do this for the time being until I get my own rap. You feel me? So Sunday come, I find me a couple of bites. I holler at folks in the MC if anybody trying to get something. They knew off the top, said, Jamaica messing with you, ain't it? I'm like, what you talking about? Because I don't tell nobody nothing. I said, what you talking about? He said, man, you just got here. Unless you brought them with you. And I said, and they said, I know you don't do like that. I said, no. I said, but why you say Jamaica gave these to me? You don't know who gave these to me. They said, man, nah, Jamaica the pill, man. He got it. He said, but you need to be careful, right? I said, what you mean by that, folks? I said, is he the police or something? They're like, nah, he ain't the police. He said, man, because them cutting at him. I said, for real? I said, they getting at him like that? He said, you gonna see. He said, you gonna see. Just watch and see. So Monday come, they assign me to the kitchen. I go to work. I get off work at 4:30 every day. I'm coming in from work. I go to the room. It's Crips all in the room. They chilling on his bunk using the phone. He's sitting at the table looking silly. I could tell on his face that he's frustrated and mad. So when I come in, I say, hey, cuz, y'all need to get out the cell, man. I need to take care of the business. I just got off from work. You feel what I'm saying? I said, respect that, folks, respect that. They get up and they walking out the cell. And as they walking out the cell, I'm looking at Jamaica. I said, hold up, cell, let me holler at you real quick. So he stopped at the door. He turned around. He said, man, I'm glad you did it, man. I'm sick of them, man. They been over here all day. I said, man, all you got to do is tell them to leave. He said, man, they don't work, man. They been at me since I've been here, man, like I said. I said, that's what's up. I said, so are you on watch or something? He was like, nah, I ain't no watch. I ain't trying to become no Crip or none of that, man. He said, man, I rock with my family, man. I said, oh, okay, dig that. I said, have you told them to get out? He said, yeah, man, they ain't respecting it, man. I said, okay. So I let this go on. I'm trying to see how far he gonna go. I let this go on for another week. Every day I come in from work, they in the cell. They on the phone. Every day. So I finally tell him, I said, let me ask you a question, Jamaica. I said, what y'all got going on up in here, man? I said, you say you ain't on watch. They coming over here every day to use the phone. I said, is that their phone? No, it's my phone. I said, do you mind them using it? He like, man, I can't even use it when they over here, man. They own it, they passing around. I can't even get on it to calm my gas. I said, okay. I said, I tell you what, man. This is what we're going to do. I said, when I come in tomorrow, I'm running them up out of here and I'm letting it be known. Don't come back over here, man. Period. You want to holler at him outside the cell. He said, man, that ain't going to help me, man. I said, they can't use the phone outside the cell. He said, man, all they going to do is make me go to their cell. I said, I can't help you with that. I said, but anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So the next day I come in from work, sure enough, cousin him in the cell, leaning back, chilling on the phone. I said, hey, cuz, man, y'all get up out of here, man, and let this be the last time y'all come over here. Man, Joe T, you tripping, man. It's the spot. I said, no, it ain't the spot no more. I said, man, get up out of here, man. And then When they left the cell, I told Jamaica, I said, this is what you do, bro. I said, I'm finna go to the shower. But man, you need to get up on that top bunk, man. I got the bottom bunk from here on out, man. We'll take care of the paperwork later. He looked at me all stunned and shocked, like, man, what's going on? I walked on out the cell to the shower. And see, that's how you got to do. You don't even look back. You lay it down and you get on down. And when you come back and if it ain't what you said, then you put hands on. You feel what I mean? Don't even give them time to explain. So when I get out of the shower, folks hollering at me on the way up the stairs. Hey, folks, man, we need to holler at you, man. I said, man, can I get dressed first? I go in the cell and I get dressed. Jamaica, what's up, man? Did you move your stuff? Because I'm looking at the bunk. I know my stuff on the bottom now, but I'm just want to make sure. You're like, yeah, man. I said, you moved everything off the shelf to the other shelf? Yeah, man. See, in the penitentiary, a certain side of the shelf is for what bunks on the top and what bunks on the bottom. So he had to move all of my stuff and his stuff, just switch it out. I just want to make sure, right? I just wanted to reiterate so I can get a feel for him. I can tell he pissed off about it, but I don't care. So now folks been trying to holler at me. They said, look here, man, you got a problem with cuz and them? I said, no, why? Man, they told me, man, that you said that they can't be in the cell no more. I said, yeah, I said that. Why, what's the problem? He said, man, we ain't trying to have no problem with cuz them, man, because, you know what I'm saying, you trying to handcuff Jamaica, man, you know what I'm saying? I said, I ain't trying to handcuff nobody, man. They say, folks, you can't be trying to save nobody, man. It is what it is in this part, man. I said, look here, man. I ain't trying to handcuff nobody. I ain't trying to save nobody, man, but I ain't finna have nobody kicking it and chilling up in this cell, man. You know what I'm saying, when I ain't there. And then when I am there, I got to ask them for permission to use the cell I'm living in, man. I'm not doing that, man. And if anybody got a problem with that, man, we need to get them up now and get that over with. Because I ain't finna play no games about this. He said, no, it ain't even like that, man. We just trying to see what's going on, right? I said, man, go tell cuz to come holler at me, man. Just like that. Just go tell cuz to come holler at me. Cuz walk up the steps. He come to holler at me, right? We go in the cell. I said, man, we got a problem, man, about this cell, man. He said, no, Joe T, we've been hanging out over this cell, man, way before you got here, man. Now you coming in, you trying to change up the groove and all this and that, right? I said, look here, homeboy. I said, yeah, I'm changing up the groove because I live in this cell now. It's as simple as that. Hang out in your own cell, man, and we ain't even finna talk about this no more. Do you want to get them up or what? He was like, no, it ain't even like that, man. I don't even appreciate how you talking to me, though. I said, man, do you want to get them up or what, or get on up out of here? He leave. He come back with the OG, right? Cuz like, hey, Joe T, man, look here, man. Cuz and folks in them ain't gonna have no problem in this pod, man. But you ain't gotta be disrespectful to my little brother, right? I said, look here, cuz. I ain't trying to be no more disrespectful than they being disrespectful to me. I said, y'all younger than me. Y'all don't know how this go, but when I come in from work, man, and they all laying up in the cell chilling like that, they disrespected me. Now you telling me you can't understand what I'm saying? If I came over to your cell and was doing that, you wouldn't tolerate that. So why you expecting me to tolerate? Do I look like I'm a sucker or something? Do I look like a sucker or something? He was like, no, folks, you don't look like no sucker. He said, but I understand what you're saying. Don't even worry about that, man. They ain't gonna be up in here no more, right? So now, come in from work the next day, they ain't in there. Everything cool, everything straight. I don't see Jamaica nowhere. You know what I'm saying? He downstairs, they got him in the cell with them, and the phone down there too. And I'm like, dang, I need to use the phone. So I tell Jamaica, come here, man. Let me holler at you. He come upstairs. He said, what's going on, Joe T? I said, when y'all get finished, man, can I use the phone to call my people, man, and see what's going on? He was like, yeah, man, but it's probably going to be later on after the count, man. They get to use the phone during the day, and then I use it at night. I said, whoa, I thought the phone belonged to you. He said, it do belong to me. I said, man, you don't see the writing on the wall then. You paying the bills. You bought the phone, but they use it, and they let you use it only at night when you locked in the cell. I said, that's their phone, man. You just holding it. He said, man, I ain't got time to be going through this with you, this and that. And then he bomb on out on me. I started laughing. I sat on down on the bunk. I said, he know what I'm talking about. He just mad. I'm talking to myself at this point. He mad because he being played like a sucker and he don't know what to do. So when he come back in later on that night, I'm hollering. I said, hey, Jamaica. I said, man, I ain't trying to piss you off or nothing like that, bro. I said, I'm just laying it out to you like it is, man. You don't see the writing on the wall, though. I said, eventually you're going to have to do something. They're going to take that phone, man. It's simple as that. He said, well, I make money. I got money. I get another. And I said, well, you're going to have to. Because they're going to take that. I said, do they know the codes to the phone? He was like, yeah. I said, I'm going to tell you something. This is how you test them. Change the codes on the phone. And then tell them you're not going to let them use it. You know what I'm saying? See what they do. So that night in the cell, he changed the code on the phone. He tell me what the code is. Me and him the only ones with the code now, right? He put the phone up. So when I come back in from work the next day, I'm looking at him. He's sitting in the cell. Got bruise on his face. They done whooped him. But he didn't give him the phone. And he didn't tell him the new code. So then they gonna come and holler at me after I get out of the shower. Say, man, Joe T, say, man, we feel like you done got in our business. Now folks them with him. I'm hollering at them. I said, hey folks, I said, man, we been through this. I ain't trying to handcuff this brother, man. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? He said that's his phone. Cousin him said, man, that's Crip phone. So I look at Jamaica, I said, is that Crip phone or is this your phone? He stuttering. I said, enough said, man. Enough said. So I grabbed the phone out the spot. I handed it to him. Here you go. They said, man, what's the code? I said, man, you got to get that from him, man. Get it from him. Man, they grabbed him and pulled him out the cell, took him downstairs. All I hear is, man, I'm sorry, man. Man, I'm sorry. Man, they smacking him around like a real sucker. He popped the phone. He come in that night, he ain't even got the phone. I said, Jamaica, didn't I tell you what the business was? He was like, yeah, man. I said, so what you gonna do? Guess what this fool said, y'all? I'm gonna buy him another phone. I said, you gonna buy another phone? I said, what about getting that phone back, man? I ain't finna go through that, Joe T. I got plenty of money. I ain't finna go through that. I said, bet that. Sure enough, he had another phone. He bought another. Now he telling me, look, tell everybody it's yours. If they come and ask if I got a phone, say I ain't got none. You got one. I said, nah. I said, now, if you want me to wear it like that, that is my phone. Because I ain't going to say something mine if it ain't mine. So is that my phone or not? He said, yeah. He said, but I can use it when I want to. I'm going to pay the bill. I said, man, I ain't got no problem with that, but it's mine. I decide what's going to happen to it, right? He was like, yeah. I said, man, there it is. So now I got me a fault. I ain't paid a plug nickel for it. I ain't paid a plug nickel for it. You feel? And he paying the bill every month. Because them, they relentless, man. Cousin them relentless. About 2 or 3 weeks go by, right? I come in, Jamaica's property is gone after sale. I said, whoa, wait a minute, what done happened? They done filled out a sale change and had him move without him even knowing he was getting ready to move. Now, what that is, let me tell you, a sale change is a form that you fill out saying, I want to move from this bunk to this bunk. And then you got to sign the bottom. And the person that's in the sale that you're going to, they got to sign and agree to it as well, right? Well, they filled it out, and both of the signatures are the same, meaning they were written by the same person. Jamaica ain't signed no paper, no nothing. They just did this on their own and moved him out the sale. The unit manager didn't even bother to call him out there and ask him, did he sign it? They just took for granted that it was authentic. Didn't even pay no attention, and moved the man out the sale. He come to me hooping and hollering, talking about, man, don't get nobody moved in here, I'm going to move back. I said, okay, I'm cool with that, but I said, where that phone at? He said, it's still in the spot. I said, okay, cool. I go take a shower, come back, I'm chilling all night, chilling. Got the phone in there. And the folks come by there, they laughing. They said, I know you got a phone. I said, I ain't got no phone. I ain't got no phone, folks. Ain't got no phone. So one of the folks said, can I move in? I said, no, Jamaica moving back. He said, man, this going to be a problem. I said, why is it going to be a problem? They said, man, because he ain't moving out this hill because of them. They got it. I said, man, he moving back. He moving back. So the next day, I go to work and I'm coming in from work. When I come in from work, the unit manager stopped me. Jamaica out there. The unit manager say, you mind if he move back in with you? I said, no, I don't mind at all. And then the unit manager said, look here, can you make sure that he gonna be all right? And I said, no, I don't do no babysitting. He ain't my son. I don't do no babysitting. So he moved back in the cell. Now, the Crips is at me. They mad. They think I'm trying to hijack him. I ain't trying to hijack him. He just want to live with me because he know he's straight. And we ain't doing no nonsense. We gelling. So here it is. Here it is. So Crip and them, cousin them, they want the folks now. Now they got folks them on their side. Folks them come tell me, I got to stand down and get out the business. I tell folks them, now y'all in my business. This ain't GD business. This ain't Crip business. They tried to take something. So I went on and stepped up and said, look, everything he got, everything he doing, belong to me now. Everything. Everything he get in belong to me. And if anybody want to do anything about it, right, blood on my knife, man. Simple as that. Blood on my knife. So cuz and them, they with it now. They with it. But they looking at it like, man, I ain't finna go through this with Joe T, because if I go through this with Joe T, then the folks and them gonna be in it. And next thing you know, we gonna go on back and forth, right? We really trying to take something, but he see the business, so he trying to take something as well. Look here, we gonna stand down. They stand down. But then they come to me, OG come to me and say, man, let us get in on that. I said, man, you can buy the pills from me. So next thing you know, everything that Jamaica getting in, we got it. But I go tell him, I said, look here, man. What you do is you get your own in. I get rid of them. I don't want a nickel off of nothing. That's all your money. All your money. But you got to get some in for me so I can keep the wolves off of you and I can get my bread too. You feel me? And I ain't paying for nothing. He had such a good plug, he did that. And the whole time he was in the cell with me, I'm building him up. Man, the day gonna come where you're gonna have to fight them, dude. You're gonna have to stand up. And when that day came, he was ready. Now, Cuz didn't whoop him and he didn't whoop Jamaica either. It was like a draw. But he stood up. And that's what it takes in here to survive. You gotta stand up. Because I wanted him to stand up to me, them, and anybody else. And he finally got to the point to where he could do that. He finally realized, look here, I got two hands just like him. Just like all of them, I can hit them like they can hit me. And when he started swinging his hands and his fists, I said, man, you can fight. You can fight. Because I hate to say it, if he would have continued on the path that he was on, it wouldn't have been just about them taking dope and phones from him. They would have took more than that from him. But again, like I always tell y'all, if that's the kind of life you want, then do what you do. But this ain't what you want. I know it ain't. And I'm going to wrap this thing up. But before I go, check out the new book, Rivals, that me and Boo got coming out August the 1st. I'm telling you, it is the bomb. Go get that thing. It's on jtb3.org, man. Boo's website. Go get that. It's $20. It'll be mailed out within a couple of days after August the 1st. It's the real deal Holyfield. If you like the episodes that I did on my podcast about Rivals, you're going to love this book. There's a lot more details in it. A lot more details. Well-written thing, man. Me and Boo collabed on that thing, right? So go check that thing out, man. I really appreciate y'all. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.